She's a political advisor and commentator. Rina, good to see you. So what are the odds here? How likely is it for Donald Trump to be disqualified?
Well, out of the many states in which there have been legal challenges to Trump appearing on the ballot, it seems Colorado and Maine are the only two that have been successful so far. That's not saying, though, that they will stay. For example, in Colorado, the state Supreme Court made the decision there, and they have put a stay on that decision until next week, giving it some time, if you will, to sort of simmer and see how it plays out. Of course, the court could also see their determination go all the way to the highest court in the land, which is the U.S. Supreme Court, which has not yet said whether they will take up this case or not. Now, Maine is a little bit different than Colorado because it was not their state Supreme Court who made the determination about Trump appearing on the ballot. It was their Secretary of State, so one person only. And this person is a registered Democrat. So, of course, the other party from Donald Trump. That has a lot of people very concerned today about how other states will continue to handle the issue of whether or not Trump appears on their ballot based on the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution.
So if he is disqualified, what do you think will be the likely impact on the wider political spectrum of the U.S.?
Again, it's only two states so far that have disqualified him, but this doesn't mean that more states will not follow. Now, March 19th is a very important date coming up because that is the date in which the Republican primary process, if no other candidate in that primary process is able to beat Trump by that date, he essentially becomes the Republican Party's nominee. If he's not appearing on certain states' ballots, that means he can't win the presidency. And that is what many people are concerned about. Again, this sense that the people, the voters, should have the say at the ballot box, not courts and not bureaucrats.
And to what extent do you think Donald Trump's disqualification in two states has reinforced President Biden's chances to get reelected?
Well, without a doubt, if Trump goes on again to become the Republican nominee and not appear on certain ballots, that means he can't have a real statistical chance at winning back the White House. Now, one thing we've seen Trump do since he left office is rail about the validity of the 2020 election. So we still have huge issues there. Trump also continues to talk about the corruption at local and state levels, which I find rather disturbing because as a constitutional conservative, I would really very much like to see more Republicans see the argument that Colorado and Maine are making here. They are saying under the 14th Amendment, Section 3 of that amendment, Trump, they feel engaged in an insurrection activity on January 6, 2021. And that's what they feel disqualifies him from seeking the White House again. Now, whether voters believe that or not, there isn't very good polling in the United States. We learned that in 2016, and I still believe that the 80 million people who did not vote in 2020, they remain unaccounted for in polls. So these new decisions really leave the door open to anything happening. But one thing is true, we have not seen this in modern American history ever. This is a very complex constitutional dilemma we are now seeing play out.
Rina Shah, thank you very much for talking to us here on TRT World. Really appreciate your taking out the time.